Hello, sixth graders. So, since I'm not going to get to see you guys today, I need to still show you how to attach your, or cut the squares and triangles and attach them in your amazing squash book, okay? So, you guys have your circle drawings. Most of you have a drawing that is 9 by 12. And if yours is 9 by 12, it's going to be a little bit easier to cut than the ones that are 8.5 by 11, but no worries, the 8.5 by 11, it's not hard. Basically what you're going to do is you've got the front, whatever's on the front of your picture, flip it over to the back. And we're going to be drawing some lines. We need to be dividing this into 12 equal squares, okay? And for those that have the 9 by 12, it's going to be easier. Because I'm going to line my ruler up along one edge, and then I'm just going to draw or make a little mark at the 3, at the 6, and at the 9. Okay, you can see I'm going to end up, that's where one square is going to be, another square, another square, another square. Okay, you'll see what I mean in just a sec. Then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to put marks again at the 3, 6, 9. Okay, and if your paper is slightly smaller than 12 inches, what you can do is take the ruler and whatever the difference is, kind of split the difference. In other words, if there's like a little bit extra here and the same amount of little extra right here, okay? And if that doesn't make sense, just line your ruler up and do the 3, 6, 9 like I did, okay? Before I draw lines on the other sides, I'm just going to go ahead and draw straight lines right here. So make sure you put them in the right places because these lines should be exactly vertical. They shouldn't be slightly diagonal, okay? You want to make sure that you've got squares and not, in fact, I feel like that one might be off a tiny bit. It is. So see how I even did that? So I'm gonna move it over. I could tell when I lined up my ruler that my line was really not exactly vertical. It was slightly diagonal. Okay, now it's exactly vertical. And then here, you're gonna do the same thing on the other sides, except that it's shorter, of course. So in this case, I line my ruler up. The 9 is on this edge, the 0 on this edge. And in this case, I'm just putting a little mark at the 3 and a little mark at the 6. I'll do that up again on the other end at the 3, at the 6, and I'm putting them on the edge, okay, on the edge. Then take my ruler and turn it this way again so you can see better what I'm doing. And then I'm going to draw my vertical lines again. Okay. I feel like that one's slightly off too, so. The main thing is if one of your lines looks slightly off, just adjust it so that you've got squares, okay? So I now have 12 squares. And basically, let me bring my squash book over. So basically what you're doing is you're cutting all of these out, okay? And then you're gonna put your 4 favorite squares in the center sections of the squash book. See how that one's a full square? Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 are full squares. And then for the triangle sections, right, up at the top, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then at the bottom, another 6, okay? And to get the triangle sections, once you've cut these all out, I would go ahead and cut them all out first. I'm just gonna go ahead and to save time, I would cut them all the way across, cut the strips all the way across, and then come back and cut them. Don't try to do like this number where you're cutting out one square at a time because it will be hard to go around the corner. You guys probably know this already, but okay. So All right, so cut the strips, then cut them the other way. Okay, so let's pretend I cut them all out. And I've got a few squares here. So as I said, the squares would go across the center area. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to get the triangles, all you have to do is take the squares that you've chosen, flip it over again, draw a diagonal line from one corner to the other, and try not to do this freehand. It won't look as good. I promise you it won't. It makes a big difference to just draw, take the time to draw that line. You don't even have to measure. You're just using it for, you know, a straight edge. And then cut. Okay, so you'll do that with 6 squares. So you'll end up with 12 triangles, and then you simply glue them in the middle. And just be careful also, I would say, when you're gluing them down, put them in the center of the area, right? So for the squares, put them in the center of your square. In other words, don't put it on the edge, even if you like how it looks, because what's going to happen is when the squash book folds up, it doesn't fold as well because there's too much on the edges and too much in the corners. Too much paper. Okay, so here, and then your triangles, center them again, not way up against the edge, center them inside of each triangle. Okay, that's pretty much it. And if you will have 2 leftover squares after you've made them for the center. So I would choose these 2 ahead of time. You can use one as the front cover, and you can choose one as the back cover, and that's it. Yay, yours will look better than that. Okay, all right guys, thank you so much, and good luck.